human nature the world over. It is therefore fit and proper that you have been served by a foreign service composed of individuals in most respects like yourselves, adventuresome and hardworking, answering as much the urge to travel and know more of the world by working abroad. Our work, yours and mine, and that of my people here and of the DFA back home is cut out for each other. That is why we have been paired. If you take foreign service seriously, as it is meant to be, the protection and care of one's fellow countrymen abroad, the work is not easy. I can vouch for this in the posts where I served as ambassador and as foreign secretary in the world's worst crisis in almost 1,000 years. Indeed, it was humanity's first truly world war, a war of defense against an enemy unseen and thereby deadlier, unknown and so much harder to fight for our ignorance and lack of the right weapons with which to fight it. COVID was a pitiless enemy, in taking in as many lives as were lost in the many wars before combined. The Foreign Service served and served well in the pandemic. We repatriated 500,000 migrants all told, even as we rescued and sent back thousands of tourists to their homes. You, our migrant workers, the pride of our nation, have made significant contributions, not only to the economic development of your host countries, but also to the well-being of our countrymen back home and to the honor of our country. We, your Foreign Service, never left you stranded alone. I think we should give each other a big hand of applause. So it is with great pride that we celebrate you all today, our OFWs here in the UK, who are highly regarded by the UK government and your employers, not only for your competence and efficiency, but also for your positive disposition, resourcefulness, and genuine concern for other people, and for the organizations you belong to. Our Filipino workers in Ireland are likewise making you and us here proud for the same reasons. So it is not surprising that Filipino workers continue to be in great demand in various industries. A big number of Filipino workers are in the healthcare sector as nurses, care workers, doctors, radiologists, and occupational therapists, among others. Many are in the business sector, such as accountants and auditors. In the IT field, Filipinos are much sought after as computer programmers and animators. In the fishing industry, particularly in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Ireland, many of the fishers are Filipino. In the agricultural sector, we have a growing number of butchers, meat and shellfish processors. Our domestic workers are also the most in demand. Also the most in-demand home caregivers. In Libya, ages ago, I went to a school for Libyan children. At a signal from the Filipino teacher, the children sang in Filipino and greeted me in the most touching words of welcome in our native language. In the hospitality sector, demand for Filipino chefs, as well as restaurant managers and waitstaff, is increasing. And I'm hoping that the barista will teach me how to do his job. I really like it. The burden on you is immense. We hope our service has lightened the load a little. As an expression of gratitude to you all, our Philippine government has made sure that you have a singularly dedicated home of your own in government. the Department of Migrant Workers, headed by my good friend, Secretary Toots Opler. The next time, she'll be with me on this stage. I knew and admired the father of Toots, Marcos Cabinet Member and Cory Constitutional Commissioner Blas Opler, who conferred the same distinction on all who work hardest for a living, the Department of Labor. Toots has been my friend and supporter, the one I turned to in dealing with migrant concerns, which she had long made her mission, on her own steam and with her own small, hard-earned resources. I knew you were in the best of hands, and that we had elected the best president possible. When Toots was chosen by Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to head the new Department of Migrant Workers, the DMW is working closely with the DFA in providing better services and more streamlined processes to facilitate your access to government support and protection. I congratulate the graduates of the various skills and livelihood training programs of the Migrant Workers Office and the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration. We wish you the best as you move forward and make the most of what you have learned through these training programs. Our thanks go equally to the trainers for sharing with our OFWs your skills. To all our migrant workers, those present here today, and those scattered across the globe, we extend our gratitude and admiration. Your dedication, sacrifices, and unwavering love for family and country make you more than modern heroes. You're saviors of our country and of our race. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you, Ambassador. Si Amy mo ng jacket.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Locsin, for your message. So, yes, we're growing here in the UK. So, it started with the healthcare
Ay, oo
workers.
nga pala. Like,
Now we have
si
growing
Odi
numbers in the agricultural sector. We have butchers.
Masandi pa
We
rin.
have
Thank you.
fish processors. And Attorney Kat is here with
Salamat
us.
sa
She even mentioned about, what do you call that, Attorney Kat? Chick sexer. So, yeah, so they're going to look at the egg and then determine if it's male or female. So even that job. So that just means that
Thank
there's
you.
nothing that a Filipino can do.
Very good.
Right?
Thank you.
Lahat po siguro kayang gawin ng Pilipino. Kaya nga ang theme natin for our Migrant Workers Day ay
That's right, Ma'am Sheila. So
Daniel,
our
thank
theme
you.
for this year is actually ang sipag at galing mo kabayan sa buong mundo ay hinahangaan.
That's right.
1, 2, 3.
Ang sipag at galing mo, kabayan, sa buong mundo, ikay hinahangaan.
So basically, we're just saying it
galing.
to each other, right?
Alright. Oh, by the way,
Sorry,
we forgot to introduce
memorize ko
ourselves.
yan.
You might be wondering, sino kaya ito mga nagsasabi?
Talino ko kaya.
Anyway, I am Sheila Aguilar, Welfare Officer of the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration.
And my name is Kim Nieva, so I represent the London Filipino Center CIC, Camarines Sur Filipino Community UK, as well as the Knights of Rizal. And on that, Ma'am Sheila, I would just like to bring my commanders. So I have Sir Ronald Sipag,
Kapje
the
sa
Area Commander of
naman.
the UK,
Salamat,
and
Kapje.
Soccer Commander, Sir Danny Favor. So thank you so much.
And I would also like to greet my commander, Laban Ani. I hope you can have
Now our boss as well.
I hope you can grant 1 week leave for me after this one. Because I haven't been
Good luck
sleeping.
sa'yo lang. Salamat,
Last
Kap.
months,
Thank you, thank you.
anyway,
I need it
kidding
today.
aside, we are 200. Maybe not exactly 200, but we are about 200 this morning. And we thank you, the Philippine Embassy, the Migrant Workers Office, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us. Philippine Ambassador, UK.
Okay, So now, without further ado, may we call in our very dedicated labor attaché to give her message. Labatani,
Good.
please.
Solid kami pero hindi pa yan lahat. Maraming hindi napa-attend. Wala yung ano po. Stick ko na
Guys,
sa...
pa ka naman natin.
Yeah! Hindi ako makapalakpak. Hawak ko sa...
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Magandang umaga din sa iyo, Ate
Kumusta
Che.
kayo? Ang gaganda ng mga ngiti ninyo.
Siyempre.
Ano yan? Ngiting panalo.
Ngiting tagumpay.
Well, of course, we welcome you all to
Thank
our
you.
28th Migrant Workers Day celebration. Happy Migrant Workers
Day
Day!
Attorney. Happy Migrants Day.
This is one occasion that we would not allow to be missed. Even in the most challenging, most difficult times of our lives, we manage to hold a celebration.
Exactly.
Remember that? Yes. At the height of the
Thank you, Ma.
COVID-19 pandemic,
Maktan
who
ka nga
would
ulit. Bigyan kita
imagine
jacket.
that the UK, together with Ireland, will be celebrating how good the Filipino workers are?
Hooray! Yes!
Hooray! Hooray! Kayo ang frontliners. At one time, I heard our dear ambassador, Teodoro S. Locsin, Locsin Senior, Junior, huwag niyong kalimutan. Junior. Sabi niya,
Ano pa
the
naman
best
ng
ambassadors
jacket?
are our OFWs. And who would argue that?
Thank you.
Kayo talaga ang number one. You are so good in everything that you opt to do. If Filipinos put their hearts and mind into anything, they will definitely succeed. And not only that, you do it better than the rest. And in fact, there is one thing about Filipino workers here that keeps on reminding our employers that despite the fact that it is only in the Philippines that we have the labor migration management system, and of course there are a lot of requirements, and still they always come back. And why? Because they keep on telling us the Filipinos are not only good, the Filipinos are not only talented, but what sets apart the Filipino workers is their caring hearts. Malasakit, kalinga, tatak ng isang Pilipino. And to think that we cannot thank you enough, really. But I think, sir, the Philippines, right, is the only country in the whole world that really puts a prime in terms of dedication in helping Filipinos. At sabi nga ni sir, imagine that we have the Department of Migrant Workers. That is your department. That is your tahanan ng OFW. And in fact, our Secretary, Toots Ople, has 3 mandates and has 3 major instructions to all of us, all in the Migrant Workers Office. One, we have to ensure that Filipino workers will always have access to all the services of the Philippine government and the migrant workers and the Department of Migrant Workers. Second, to ensure to facilitate the service. And in the coming months, you will see the efforts of the Department of Migrant Workers to digitalize all the services. Darating ang panahon, you will be in the comfort of your houses, in your, for example, organizations, and you can just apply anything through online. And third, it is still a mandate to make vigorous our reintegration program. Sabi, di ba, babalik at babalik at babalik ka rin. And if you do not come physically in the Philippines, definitely your families are there. And one of the trusts is not only to train the OFWs, but also their families back home. And even the children now, they have different sessions to help them to be well, to ensure that they have their well-being, to ensure that they know what their parents are doing, to ensure that whatever investment, whatever skills, whatever sacrifices their parents have, it will also multiply 100-fold when it comes to benefits in their homes and in our country. Sabi nga natin, pag Pilipino, sigurado tayo, mahusay, magaling, at may puso.
Amen.
At sa araw na ito, we would like to thank you all. And of course, under the leadership of our ambassador, we can do a lot better. And of course, with the inspiration of Madam Maria Lourdes Bilotsin, Ma'am Louie, definitely we can go places. And with the full support of our Philippine Embassy, definitely nothing can go wrong. At gusto ko rin pasalamatan sa umagang ito. Of course, we have a very lean team. You know that very well. But we were able to process more than 100,000 job orders, manpower requests. And we attended numerous and volume of cases with the help of our Philippine Embassy. And of course, one thing that we cannot forget, to continue doing the skills and livelihood training programs for our Filipinos. Sir, nakikita natin na ang gaganda nila, nakangiti sila, pero for sure, wala pa silang tulong. And because they are so dedicated, may mga asawang hindi kumain ng ilang araw. May mga hindi natulog at walang pakialam. Because they want to show to all of us and to the rest that if we put our hearts and minds into something, we can do the best. Sila, they had some hesitations when they were starting. But during the assessment, we were so amazed how good their outputs are. Palakpakan po natin. And of course, who cannot be inspired that here in the UK, we have the first Filipino barrister. And of course, we have the first Filipino nurse who achieved or got promoted as a director in the National Health Service.
Wow! Congratulations!
At sa inyong mga pipinig na naririto, many of you are silent workers and you are succeeding in your respective fields. And we are so thankful that in your own little way, you keep on helping our fellow Filipinos, especially the newcomers. Sa inyo pong lahat, saludo po kami.
Thank you. Thank
To
you.
our team, the Migrant Workers Office, Welfare Officer Sheila, AS Wally, AS March, and AS Marite, maraming salamat. At sa lahat ng tumulong, mamaya we have a time to thank you all. With that, God bless us all, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Hello. Ayan, okay. Thank you very much po, Ma'am Ali Reyes. Guys, round of applause once again, please. So truly, we give the world our best. Okay, wouldn't you agree, guys? Okay. So, guys, for this afternoon, for today, actually, we would need your cooperation. So, please feel free to clap your hands whenever someone's in front, because this is all about you anyway, right? So, this is a celebration. So, please feel free to cheer for the people that are going to speak, and of course, for those who are going to present. Isn't it, Mama Sheila?
Yes, that's right. We will be cheering for each other.
Yes.
Yeah, yun naman yun. So, kanina sabi ni Father, unity, yung pakikipagkapwa-tao. So, walang mag-cheer sa kapwa natin Pilipino, kundi tayo din. Tama ba?
Yes!
Speaking of cheering for each other, thank you. So, we would like to thank the Filipino community leaders who are with us this morning. So, we have Albayanon UK.
Yes!
We have Barista UK.
Yes!
We have People United.
Yes!
us, of course.
Uy, klak ka.
Ito, sobrang pasasalamat namin
Buti
dito.
nga.
E-learning group.
Hey! That's our.
Of course, we have NFID. Chan is also with us.
Yeah.
PMA, Philippine Muslim Association.
Laka.
Ano organization?
Ah,
Okay, we
siyempre.
have the Voice of Domestic Workers.
Yeah!
We have Waling Waling. We have Yapak.
Yeah!
Live UK, Ate Mads, thank you for coming. We have, of course, the Philippine Nurses Association, represented by Claire. We have the Filipino Nurses Association UK. We also have the Filipino Senior Nurses Alliance, represented by Ms. Jen Medina. By the way, Ms. Jen is the first international advisor of the NHS and is connected with the Florence Nightingale Foundation.
Magkakanda.
We also have UFG, United Filipino Global, Miss Emily. We have Casilleras, Chairman.
Live from YouTube.
We have the Guardians.
Dali lang. Boss, anong kalagayan, boss? Okay lang?
Thank you so much for
Kunin ko lang
being with us.
ano ko yung
Of course, Batangas UK.
hooray!
Of course, our very supportive Mayor Danny Cabor and Mayores Manana.
All the way from this great step.
Boss, palihog ko hawak din. Dali lang. Nakalive kasi.
Buwan Kapampangan.
Dali lang ha, dali lang.
We have Piton, Aris.
Oh, ano ka rin?
We also have Papa Milville. Kapirang Pinoy sa Milville.
Ay, 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 ay. Nawag ako eh.
Yes.
Future pala sa Milville. Kaya mo yan, sir. Erehan, Filipino community.
Oh, ba? Oh, sa ano yan? Sa church.
And of course, as mentioned a while ago, we have here with us our Filipino barristers, our first and only Filipino barrister, Attorney Catherine Lee.
Coach, I was trying to say something more because this is actually about migrants, right? So, my heart is always with my fellow migrants, okay? So, I'd just like to let you know na malaki po pasasalamat ko because without this person, I wouldn't be here as a migrant, okay? So, the first and only barrister, Attorney Catherine D, is actually the reason why I am here in the UK. And of course, with the recommendation of Sir G. Alcantara. So, maraming salamat po, Attorney Catherine D.
And of course, we also have Attorney Crystal Dias, Attorney Dana Quinto. Kapag pre-legal advice, medyo call-a-friend kami lagi. Of course, we have Barrister Len Furlong, who's been helping us with our cases. And ito, suki namin, si Solicitor Aris Ibarrondo. So every time we have a problem, we always call Solicitor Aris, and he's also a speaker for our post-orientation arrival seminar.
Tinuturago na, bigla ka yan. Hello, Attorney.
Okay. Also with us, of course, our trainers, which we will recognize later. Palakpakan naman natin ang ating mga trainers for our skills training program. And we have judges mamaya because we're going to have a Skills Olympics later this afternoon. And we have judges. Ang judges po natin ay hindi basta-basta. We have chef na judge for our patisserie display and our cake decorating competition. We have a professional photographer, National Geographic lang naman ho. We have Rick, later we represent all of you, for our photography competition. And we have hotel managers, later they're coming, to judge the barista and bartending competition. So are you excited? Yes! Okay, so before we continue with our program, we invited a very talented performer to sing for us this morning. So, she is a Filipino-British singer, songwriter, and a 6 times champion of the world who has represented United Kingdom at the just concluded World Championships of Performing Arts in California. She had worked in bands, singing in different local cruise ships and commercial establishments. She's a nurse and a music educator. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rex C.
Hello everybody! Pasensya lang po, may ko po ako, but I'm pretty sure you know the song po. My name is Rexy, and I'm so honored to be part in this very special event. Talagang honored po talaga ako. So I would like to dedicate this song to each and every one of you because I admit na in myself na isa rin po akong migrant worker and I'm very proud to be. So, ang kanta po ito ay dinigay ko sa inyong lahat. The title of this, Ang Buhay Ko. So, mahirap po ang buhay natin sa United Kingdom, but pusong Pilipino, tatak Pilipino, kaya-kaya natin. Okay. So, I hope you like this song. Maestro. Okay, sing along with me please, if you know this song.
Walang iiyak.
Halos lahat ay nagtatanong noon sa aming bayan. Sa gitnang kanluran na aking pinagmulan, sila'y nalilito pag daw ako nagkaganito. Kung ano ang dahilan, ako lang ang nakakaalam. Magulang ko'y ginawalaan lahat ng paraan upang mahiwalay sa aking natutunan. Subalit iniwan ko ang binigay na karangyaan. Kung ano ang dahilan, ako lang ang nakakaalam. Musika ang buhay, tinataglan na aking tinataglan. Ito rin ang dahilan kung ba't ako naglalakbay. Musika ang buhay na aking tinataglan. Ito rin ang dahilan kung ba't ako kaya ngayon ako'y narito upang ipaalam na di ko nagkamali sa aking daan. Gantimpala'y di ko hangad na magkamtan, kundi ang malamang tama ang aking ginawa. Now it's your turn. It's my original song, available from Spotify, Amazon, lahat po ng music platform. It's an original song. Mahirap po ang mag-abroad, di ba? Kaya minsan may mga nangyayaring nagaganap sa Pilipinas o kahit saan man sa mundo. So masakit po itong kantang ito. And I would like to listen to okay. The title of this song, pwede ba? Bukas na lang. Okay. Masakit po talaga siya. But kaya natin to, kaya natin to.
Mas ayaw sana.
Mahirap po na talaga kayo.
Not letter, not cut.
This is another beautiful song dedicated to each and every one of you. My own original song.
Ay lang, may pahilang.
You can listen siya sa Spotify, Amazon. Kaya download nyo. Rexy. Paano ba haharapin bukas? Ngayon, ika'y nagpapaalam. Nakikinig ng iyong yakap. Bakit ba iyong binibitawan? Maaari ba ang oras ay umito sa bawat tatak ito ay kayo? Maaari ba ika'y yakapin at pakinggan? Kung tibok ng puso ang sinisigaw ay bigla ako. Paano wala sa tuwing maisip kong wala ka na? Paano wala bukas? Nasanay na ang puso kong laging kasama ka. Kung ako'y iiwan, pwede bang bukas na lang? O, di ba masakit? Okay. Ang ating mga tuloy ng luha ay nagdamag sa'yong yakap. Pag-ibigan ating nataba at ninanais sa pag-isip, ikaw ang kapiling. Paano ba sa tuwing maisip kong wala ka na? Paano ba bukas? Nasanay na ang puso kong laging kasama ka. Kung ako'y iniwan, pwede bang bukas na lang? At kung sakali ngayon ang bukas na mayroon at iba, salamat sa pag-iisang aking mo naman ay ika'y manayang ka. Paano ba sa tuwing maisip kong wala ka na? Paano ba bukas? Nasanay na ang puso kong laging kasama ka. Pwede bang bukas na lang? Kung ako'y iiwan, bukas na lang.
Thank you very much po, Miss Rexy. Yeah, truly world class, no? Did you agree, guys? Okay, so and I actually had the opportunity to listen to her during the Jeffrey Hidalgo concert by CWC. So well done po. Okay, and for representing the UK in the White Copa. Okay. Okay, so now guys, we are actually privileged. Okay. Okay. We are privileged, okay, to have a message from the Secretary of the Department of Migrant Workers, albeit virtually. Okay, so are we prepared? Let me introduce to you the Secretary, Maria Susana Toots V. Ople of the Department of Migrant Workers. Let's listen.
Congratulations po sa lahat ng ating graduates ng iba't ibang skills training programs and courses na handog ng Migrant Workers Office natin dyan sa UK at ang ating emahagan. At kaus-pusong din ang pasasalamat sa ating napakahusay, magiting at guwapo na ambassador na Moscow din. Dahil siya ang publisher ko, nung ako'y nagsusulat na sa pahayagan. Ambassador din ako'y Luxin, thank you po.
Nasaan
Dahil
si-
alam ko, kayo ang isa sa mga kamyon ng ating mga OFWs noon, ngayon, at sa kanyang. At sa ating mga OFWs naman dyan sa UK, dahil na yung ating mga nurses, healthcare professionals, at lahat po kayo. We are super proud of you. We love you very much. Pag may masungit po sa aming NWO office, isumbong lang sa akin. Direction na po sa inyo. Sekople at www.gov.ph. Sekople at www.gov.ph. Kasi sa tahanan natin, bawal ang masungit. Pero sa tingin ko naman po ay mabait ang labor appreciation, silaban namin, and I'm sure hindi kayo pababayaan. So God bless, happy Migrant Workers Day. Nandito lang po kami for all of you. We love you.
Hey, maraming salamat po, Secretary Toots Ople. Remember guys, kapag may masungit, okay, sa Department of Migrant Workers, you know who to contact. But I don't think we will go to that point. Do you agree? Okay, Ma'am Ahmi and the team, okay, is one of the kindest, okay?
Yeah.
And now, we will be graced by another presence, virtually again. So under the Department of Migrant Workers, of course, we have the OWA, okay? Or the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, okay? Finally, I said it, okay? OWA. Okay, so we will hear from the administrator himself, Arnaldo Arnel Ignacio.
Pag mainit po.
May message ang ating Ernel Ignacio sa aming graduation.
Good day sa inyong lahat. We are celebrating Philippines Migrant Workers Day at masaya ako na bahagi ako sa pagdiriwang na ito. Mahalaga ang araw na ito not just for OWA, kundi dahil sa inyo na ating kinikilala bilang kampiyon ng ating bansang Pilipinas. Because of your hard work and sacrifices, nakatulong kayo ng napakalaki sa ating ekonomiya. And what is more important is you've uplifted the quality of life of your families and your respective communities. I am inspired by your boldness and courage. It inspired me more to work tirelessly and see to it that your welfare will be our priority. OWA will always be there to give back and recognize your contributions to the best of your interests and the interests of your families you have left behind. Ako, ang inyong OWA Administrator Arnel Ignacio, bumabati sa inyo ng Happy Migrant Workers Day sa anong panig ng mundo. Galing at katatagan ninyo ang hinahangaan. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Mabuhay! Whee! Happy Migrants Day!
See you later.
See you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Admin Arnel. Okay, so the next part of our program is an inspirational speech from the Hospital Director of Nursing at the University Hospital Sussex, NHS Foundation Trust. He is the first Filipino nurse to hold a top nursing directorship role in the National Health Service. Prior to this, he was the Deputy Chief Nurse at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Kingston NHS Foundation. He completed his Bachelor of Science in Nursing at West Visayan State University in Iloilo City in 1996. He worked as a registered nurse in the Philippines until he migrated to the UK in 2001 to work in the NHS. In one of his media interviews, he mentioned that when he was starting at the NHS, he would be the happiest Filipino nurse that he could. He would get the post of a senior staff nurse. But he got a lot more than that. Because of his dedication and passion for nursing excellence, he is now the highest ranking Filipino nurse in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Edmond Tabay.
Thank you very much indeed. So, to our ambassador to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, His Excellency Jigoro L. Locsin Jr., to the officers of the Philippine Embassy in the UK, to the Philippine Overseas Labour Office team headed by Ana Reyes, the fellow overseas Filipino workers, guests, and the representatives, and at the same time the lead for the various Filipino diaspora groups in the UK. Good morning.
Good morning.
Again, thank you very much, and it is my privilege and it's a great pleasure to join everyone here today to celebrate the Filipino Migrant Workers Day, and at the same time to be given an opportunity to share with you my experience and my journey, and at the same time to remind everyone here today the power that lies within each and every one of us. So my name is Edmond Tabay. I am from Iloilo, and I come from a small town of Tubungan, which is in Western Visayas. And I came, as I mentioned earlier, came here in 2001. And I think I'm one of those people, just like you, who ventured to come to the UK, so we left our family back home and within the comfort of the things that we've been doing back in the Philippines. But again, we have to recognize that sometimes we have to do those things. And personally, I'm going to tell you that I'm one of those who would support my family back home. And I think it's one of the reasons that we do that. But there are so many reasons why we leave the Philippines. So, if I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read something here. When I first embarked on this about several years ago, I know there will be so many challenges, as Ambassador Locsin mentioned earlier, the cultural differences, the language barrier, and at the same time, as a nurse, it is that responsibility that we'll be looking for those people that we didn't know of in terms of their background, in terms of their practices, which is quite different from what we use in the Philippines when we're practicing nursing back home. But I also knew that I had a burning passion in terms of how to improve people's lives, and at the same time, how to help individuals that need, in terms of their needs professionally, and at the same time, the healthcare needs of those individuals. Everyone here today, all of us, we are the brave souls who have embarked on the journey of sacrifice, resilience, and determination. Just like you, I have faced countless challenges, at the same time, overcome insurmountable odds, and made me a stronger person. And to give context to what I have just said, I started my career at Stoke Mandeville Hospital in Buckinghamshire as a registered nurse. And it was mentioned earlier that when I started my career here, I said, if I would be promoted as a senior staff nurse in the UK, I would be the happiest nurse. And I thought it was the end and that was the pinnacle of my career. And I used to work with a very supportive ward sister, or we call them head nurses back home. And when I was talking with her, I said, you know, sister, we call them sisters here. You know, sister, I cannot do the job, and I cannot see myself doing the job. And you know what she said? You know, Edmund, there are things in our lives which sometimes we cannot control. And after that, I said, is there something that I can do differently? So I was promoted as a deputy charge nurse at the time. And then I became a ward manager for several years. I became a matron, which is equivalent to supervisor back home. And I questioned myself at the time whether I need to do something more. And again, I moved to a different organization. And I worked with a very supportive chief nurse at the time. And she is from a white background. And I think it was through her advice and guidance that I was able to think twice again in terms of my career. I've never seen a Filipino nurse at a time who was in a senior management post or in a leadership role either. And we've seen quite a lot of them nowadays. And we, not only me, but probably quite a lot of you here, we suffer from imposter syndrome. It is a psychological feeling that you doubt yourself in terms of your capabilities, in terms of your abilities, and in terms of your accomplishments as well. And you persistently internalize the fear of being a fool. And I think that's what we feel. And when I worked with this chief nurse, she told me that those years, saying, Edwin, if there was a post for a head of nursing here, or a divisional director of nursing in this organization, I would ask you to apply for the job. But if that post is somewhere else, go for that. And it gives me that impetus, saying that that person must have seen something about my capability and my abilities in this, which never occurred to me, because I still suffered self-doubt in those years, in terms of what I can and I can't do, in terms of my capabilities, and in terms of my ability as a nurse. And again, I moved to a different organization, given an opportunity to have attended the Deputy Director of the Nursing Program, funded the National Health Service, took the opportunity at the time to become a Deputy Chief Nurse in the previous organization where I used to work. And again, I met a Philippine nurse at the time. When I introduced myself as a Deputy Chief Nurse, she said, Edmund, I have goosebumps because I never thought and I never realized that I would meet a Filipino nurse in this position. And I was so touched by that because I myself never thought that that would be the case. And you know, Jenny, who represents the Filipino Nurses Alliance today, and Kurzweil represents the Philippine Nurses Association. And we have so many of those senior nurses now. I'm not going to say that I'm part of that, but again, I think when they hear about my achievement, when they hear that I can do it, then that's given them some indication as well that, well, we can do it as well. And I thank for those nurses who follow that in terms of what I've done so far. So that's about my nursing career. And as I mentioned earlier, just like you and I, leaving the Philippines is quite difficult. But we have to do something different. We chose to step out of our comfort zones, to embrace the unknown, and take a leap of faith because we believe in the power of our dreams. And as a very senior nurse in the UK, I carry with me the values that have been instilled with me: compassion, empathy, and resilience. And these qualities are at the core of who I am and guide me through in every step of my journey. Being a Filipino nurse goes beyond the walls of a hospital setting or any healthcare facility. We have the unique privilege of representing our nation, of representing our people in the United Kingdom. We carry the torch of excellence and professionalism wherever we go, showcasing the exceptional skill and dedication of the Filipino healthcare workforce that we are known for. And Ambassador Locsin mentioned that earlier in terms of those qualities, and Amy Reyes as well mentioned in terms of those qualities we have as healthcare worker, especially from the Philippines. In the face of adversity, we have shown remarkable strength, not to mention the sheer resilience of healthcare workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have embraced challenges, not as obstacles, but opportunity for growth. We have pushed ourselves to adapt to the unfamiliar environments and navigate the complex healthcare system in the United Kingdom. Each one of us here carries a story, a unique narrative that builds us together. We are the embodiment of hope, the living testament of the indomitable Filipino spirit. We have ventured in foreign land where culture, customs were unfamiliar, and that includes language as well, because if you work in a different part of the UK, they have different accents. If you work in Scotland, if you work in Wales, you work in Ireland, so their accents are very different, and some of those words are very different. And it's so, when I started here, and I'm sure people can attest to that, in terms of those difficulties of those colloquial words and those words that people are using that sometimes you don't understand. When I first came here, when a patient mentioned to me about weight, and she mentioned to me about stone, I haven't got a clue what stone is. So it is a measurement of weight in the UK, and even that would put you sometimes in a quite difficult position. But having said that, we have taken jobs here that demanded our blood, sweats, and tears, but we refuse to be defined by those circumstances. Instead, we chose to rise above the challenges and make our mark in the UK. Let us not forget the sacrifice we have made along this arduous journey. We have missed birthdays, weddings, and graduations. We have shed tears silently, yearning for the comforting presence of our loved ones. But let us celebrate the triumphs we have achieved, no matter how small they may seem. Every success story shared, every obstacle overcome, is a testament to our strength and our resilience. In the face of adversity, we have discovered our untapped potential. We have learned to adapt, to persevere, and to evolve. We have showcased the Filipino spirit of bayanihan, the unwavering support and camaraderie that binds us together. We have formed communities, built bridges of friendship, and found solace in one another's presence. Our unity has become our greatest weapon, and together we will continue to shatter barriers and stereotypes. Let our struggles be a beacon of inspiration to those who may follow our footsteps. Let them know they're not alone, that there is a vast network of Filipino migrant workers ready to offer support and guidance. Let our story serve as a reminder that no dream is too big, no goal is too distant, and no obstacle is insurmountable. As we continue our journey, let us never forget the essence of who we are and where we come from. Our roots run deep within the soul of the Philippines, and it is through this connection that we find the strength to weather any storm. Let our actions reflect the values instilled to us by our ancestors. Fellow Filipino migrant workers, as we gather here today, let us live ahead with hope and determination. Let us continue to be ambassadors of our culture, the bearers of our dreams, and the agents of change. Our journey is not an easy one, but it is one filled with promise, opportunity, and a chance to make a difference. May we continue to strive for excellence, embodying the Filipino spirit wherever we go. Let us forge ahead by breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and showing the world that the heart of a Filipino knows no boundaries. Finally, I would like to end my message with these quotes. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. And a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Mabuhay ang mga manggagawang Pilipino sa bayan. Thank you very much. And God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Edwin. You are such an inspiration to all our kababayan. So, you know, sometimes we feel like we cannot do something, but we just have to try.
Yeah.
Diba? We'll never know where it will take us. You just have to try. You just have to take the first step. I know we all have, you know, fears, anxieties. We doubt ourselves. But then, sometimes you just have to go with the flow. You try, because who knows, you'll succeed. And we all know that Filipinos can always, laging, di ba? Walang hindi kaya. Laging kaya, laging kinakaya, at laging kakayanin. Tama ba? Yeah. Okay. So now, before we proceed to the highlight of our event, we've invited the winner of the Philippine Department of Tourism Heroes, what do you call this one? Singing Heroes competition. He's also a nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Emmanuel De Miguelio.
Kita, yes. Nakapagay sa po. Ilong ayaw sa ba. We are now in the holiday end celebration for the migrant workers days and UK. So, yan ang ginawa namin.
A round of applause, please, for Emmanuel. I will assist him, I won't sing, but. Ang ito sa picture, sorry.
Before I start, can I just say, Sir, but thank you for the inspiration. I'm a nurse myself. I also came from Iloilo. Seeing how much he has achieved in his career is, talaga mapapaisip ka lang. I got really inspired. It shows you how amazing, how great, how you can achieve great things through hard work. Yeah, it's very difficult to leave our families behind, but you know, also hard work, prayers, and you know, that Filipino mindset na kinakaya natin parati, as Sherman has proven, as Filipinos can really do this.
Kita ko sina magambalambat sa kamusta. Sino tawag mo daw? Basta kumanay pag sa kay pati. Ang bisa. Pati ko madaling bukas. Record na.
With the stars in the night, there's ako I just can't believe that you are mine now. You were just a dream that I can't sleep. I never thought I would be right for you. I just cannot pay you in this world. You're all I need to be all those ways long to hold you in my arms. I'm dreaming of you every night. I'm watching all the stars fall down. Wishing you would be mine now. I just can't believe that you are mine now. You were just a dream that I once knew. I never thought I would be right for you. I just cannot
Kasi kamu nag-upstart. Kasi kamu may baon nga ako nito. Like, so, time
and again. There are these changes that we cannot end. Sure as time keeps going on and on, my love for you will be forevermore.
mamaya alas 4. Gusto ko na yung isang bahay na dapat ang
I just can't believe that you are mine now. You were just a dream that I once knew. I never thought I would be right for you. I just cannot believe we'll stay together. You were all I need to be with forever.
Sa ilong mo daw, gwapo daw. Kap, ano kaya kanyan? Sa ilong ko gwapo? Oh, ilong ko na, sing.
You were all I need to be
Forevermore. Tabang. Panakit kayo ha. May mapanakit.
Hindi magpahinga. Okay. Guys, palakpakan natin Ivan.
Ipadagdag po ito, mag-apay na siya. Mahilig ang sikat po yung sports kasi.
at sinabi mo ang pag-ibig mo di magbabago. Ngunit bakit sa tuwing ako'y lumalapit, di malayo. Puso'y laging nasasaktan na may kasama kang iba.
Nakikiusap sa batahan. Kasi
Na ako'y sa'yo
at ika'y aking lamang.
Pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo ang sabihin ay ikaw pa rin ang mahal. Maghihintay ko kahit kailan, kahit na umabot man ako'y nasa gitna. At hindi ka makita, nakikiusap kay batahan na ika'y hanapin at sabihin ipaalala sa iyo ang nakalimutan sumpa. Na ako'y sa'yo at ika'y aking lamang. Umasa ka, maghihintay ako kahit kailan, kahit na nakikiusap kay lahat na ika'y hanapin at sabihin ipaalala sa iyo ang nakalimutan sumpa. Na ako'y sa'yo kay aking lamang. Na ako'y sa'yo kay aking lamang.
Ayan, okay guys. Thank you very much. Pakapakan naman natin. Iba pala pag nandun lang, nataramdam mo? May panahon ko rin kasi yung mga, well, may mga bata 90s ko wala. Okay, yung mga kanta talaga nakakarinig palabas. Yes, it's our era. What do you think, Ma'am Sheila?
Yes, tama. Kanina, basta na gano'n, pag broken heart yung kanta, parang sumasaya tayo. Relate ba?
Relate ba?
Okay. Anyway, we now...
Nahugod ka, Ma'am? Nahugod?
Wala na.
Okay, wala. Later.
So let's not talk about it.
That's right, yes.
Anyway, we now proceed to the highlight of our event this morning. So we're going to award the certificates of completion to our trainees who completed the training programs conducted by the Philippine Embassy and the MWO OWA London. So we have 210 yes, finishers of our training programs, but I think we have around 125 or 130 who are here this morning. So, to award the certificate, may I call on our first Ambassador Teodoro and Maxine Jr., sir, Deputy Chief of Mission, Ma'am Renita Rodriguez, and our Labor Attaché, Ami R. Reyes, to award the certificates to our graduates. So, the graduates, are you ready? Yes! You know the drill, okay? Huwag kayong pasawan.
Parang hina, ma'am. Are you ready, graduates?
Okay. 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 So the first graduate is Farida Abdullah. She finished the basic barista training held last May 14, 2023. Next is Marie Christie Abela. Duwayna Angkalul. Paulina Alejo. Baitan A. Alfonso. Baitan A. Alfonso. Richelle S. Aliman. Elsa Andal. Imelda Angeles. Ana Lu Antipresto. Aida Antipolo. Yonila Apostol. Rahima Baganyan. Marigold Balken. Marigold Balken. Maribel Banayat. Maria Betty Barrios. Helen Bongot.
Graduate na sila, graduate na.
Alona Barte.
Yes! Dahil makuha ka. Halika dito, dito.
Adelaida Baya. Gloria Briseño. Nur Iman Binudin. Next is Miss Helen Bongot. Next, Imelda Brioso.
Wala akong pangalan doon kaya dahil mag-graduate.
Roslyn Bunda.
Ano ka, baksan. Nakakapagpagkala, wala akong pangalan.
Zoraida Cabagyo. Maria Teresa Cabiad. Next, Maricar Calma. Rosemary Cañares. Marisa Cariño. Annabel Austria. Huraida Halil. Levita Castillo. Norma Viloria Castillon.
Please double check the names on your certificates.
Next, Rose Castillones. Zaida Senson. Myla Clemente. Wahida Angbolotto Flo. Next, by Tunggal T. Galangban. Sheila Marie de Lupines. Gemma Dern. Mary Jane Defensor. Leonida Bacatan de la Cruz. Next, Marilu de la Cruz. Marlene de la Cruz. Raquel Trilon. Adelina Dueñas. Ofelia Dulgaran. Teresa Duran. Shirley Druin. Sonia Escobar. Filomena Estomago. Tito Fabellon. Caroline Fabian. Dorotea Fabile. Medina Hinera. Laura Lee Facul. Leo Priscina Galisinao. Roslyn Gamayon. Angelita Garcia. Josephine Garcia. Gerald Jaslani. Wilson Gonzaga. Estelia Gosa. Maria Teresa Guevara. Salamia Gutierrez.
Ilan ang courses ko? Malayo, ilan? Ay, maraming sabi. Nasa marami. Lahat ng course na daming course.
Rosalinda Henrone. Jenny Hermoso. Harold Ian Hilo.
Sa isang taon? Yes. Last year pa to, after COVID.
Elizabeth Arellano. Catherine Hindo. Renera Ichon. Linda Mohamed Iqbal. Ellen Inocencio. Ellen Inocencio. Helen Hamisola. Imelda Joaquin. Robina S. Joaquin. Agnes Julian. Jubilee Gabrelo. Samia Calianta. Shamira Caron. Obita Carpio. Normia Kawara. Delia Lagati.
kayo ay mag-grabe kayo.
Junalisa Lala.
Yan ang sabihin ko vocational first. Nawala sa
Evangeline Lalata. Rowena Lagos.
Napicturean kita.
Maria Bel Bangki.
Mariam.
Maria Wilma Dole. Nahima Manilala. Marilu Manuba.
Dapat nag-confirm si Odi para hindi mo
Nora Mata.
siya
Shana Ibang Swan.
Wala pa ah. Ay, bakit hindi? Hindi siya nag-confirm eh.
Leonora Mendoza.
Sino kinuha mo? Okay, Paris.
Maria Silvia Morales. Norjen Nami.
Praise siya. Ah?
Grace Ine.
Praise siya.
Sheena Marie Ocampo. Josephine Ochoa. Helen Olavides. Diana Ong.
Yes. Thank you.
Elizabeth
Walang
Austria.
picture kita. Sure. Ayan mo yan. Ayan mo sa harap mo.
Leonora Mendoza.
Alam mo ng pangalan mo. Kaya nga eh.
Arlene Oxida.
Sabi ng kaibigan ko, pag magpapapicture ka, sabi ng sex.
Jane Palakaw.
May idea na. Di ba sabi mo sex? Ganon.
Gloria Palingayan.
Kaya sige, di ba landi? Sige pa, one more sa sex. Sige, Dalaga ka ba? Oo. Ay, bakit dalaga ka? Yan ang mga maganda, wala.
Miles Presentacion.
Kapsat, doon ang guys.
Margarita Panaliban.
Inamay ko lang Inamay ko lang kasi nag-anta na siya. Salmi.
Margarita Panaliban. Maricel Makasate. Alisa Bayaw. Monira Bayaw.
Kasi may sex. Kasi hindi kasi.
Loida Ingasa Piang. Maylene Pinagayaw. Petros P. Ragingan. Mahani S. Radja. Nifa Recondon. Luzon. Imelda Romero. Imelda Romero. Marie Rosales. Evelyn Rojas. Elia Sabir. Atsgora Saikon. Evangelista Sabanal. Olive Salta. Bainot Sandigan. Edita Zapla. Jaynab Saiden. Karina Sitig. Samuel Son. Maria Rosalinda Spooner. Alicia Suya. Teresa Domínguez. Luisa Pipit. Cindy Guzman. Nerissa Valerio. Marian Villafuerte. Nuningning Peluso. Monica Webb. Marites Yagaw. Marie Christine Abela. Marie Christine Abela. Edwin Imperio.
Pinagsala ko nila lahat.
Best Barista, Gemma Byrne.
Alam ko ibang certificate na trainer.
Best in Bartending, Mahiling Lai.
Sabi niya si Kisay, dahil sa siguro wala Manila sa paano. Ano mo siya nga wala dito. Diba? Kaya kayo na lang. Kasi ano muna, kasi nagagawa ko pa.
Sugar Flowers Artist Award, Catherine Hinlo. Sugar Flowers Artist Award, Yolanda Aquino. Rising Star in Cake Decorating, Marie Christine Abela. Third placer in Best in Patisserie, Arabel Austria. Third placer in Best in Patisserie, Maria Teresa Cagliad. Third placer for Best in Patisserie, Rose Bunda. Third place, Best in Patisserie, Ellen Lucencio. Second place, Best in Patisserie, Maria Silvia Morales. Second placer for Best in Patisserie, Rowena Layos. Second placer for Best in Patisserie, Mary Jane Defensor. First placer for Best in Patisserie, Petros P. Laingan.
Kababayan namin yan. Kababayan namin yan.
Where are you, Petros Laingan?
Be! Congratulations, Be!
And the best of the best in Patisserie, Harold Ian Nilo. Salani Abdul-John. Congratulations to all our graduates. Now we proceed to the awarding of certificates to our trainers. Okay, let me read the contents of the certificate. Embassy of the Republic of the Philippines, Migrant Workers Office, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, London, United Kingdom. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to the name of trainer in recognition of his or her selfless dedication and outstanding contribution as trainer for the Open Enhancement Training Program for overseas Filipino workers in the United Kingdom. Given this 4th day of June 2023 during the celebration of the Migrant Workers Day at the Holiday Inn Kensington High Street. Signed, Shimaya Welfare Officer, Awerfina R. Reyes Labor Attaché, and Leonora NLC Junior Ambassador. Mark Robles. Next, Elmer Alejo. Next, Corazon Humani, our trainer for chest kicking. Next, Delia Lagani, our trainer for meat processing, bread making, accessory making. Next is Genoveva Sarmiento. Next, Norma Vilorca Castillon, trainer for beading. Alright, so
Guys, round of applause, please, to your trainers. Without them, you won't be here.
now we give the photo opportunity, please, quickly, please. All the graduates and trainers in front. Let's have a photo with Ambassador Roxine, Ma'am Ren, and Lala Annie. Please, come on, please,
All 145, please, health and safety, guys. Please be careful. Find your height. Find your spots.
Popoto na kami.
Just be careful. And lady, Diana. Lady Diana, where are you? Congratulations. Well done.
Okay, two batches. Two batches na lang. Teka lang, okay?
We will have two batches, okay? So this is the first batch. Okay, so the rest for the second batch, okay? Para mas prominent ang mga mga mo, ha? Okay. Okay guys, sino pa? You can take, okay, listen to the
Okay. Alright, let's have a photo. One, two.
Congratulations, graduates. Now, for the next batch. So the first one is the start section. Very good. So second batch, please. Second batch. Congratulations. Make sure if you are on the first batch, huwag kang uulit. Kasi baka isipin repeater. Okay, go. Second batch.
Alright, second batch.
Okay, nakaka-proud from Sheila. All these dear graduates.
Backward.
Nagsarili. Libot ko kayo, ha?
Congratulations! Trainers, we have to make sure you really pass the test.
Tama na yun, tag-isa lang kami, dalawa lang kami. Sa magka-table kami. Magka-table kami, oh. Thank you.
Next is, I have an announcement.
Talagang nakaka-proud.
Binidyo talaga ako.
Now, so that ends the first part of our program this morning. We'll have a lunch. The lunch will be at the restaurant. Sa labas sa restaurant, doon po yung lunch.
Dumapilis. Ayan ang nag-award siya. Oh, pak. Pak. Thank you for watching. Hanggang dito na lang kasi mag-break kami. At don't forget to like and subscribe.
Gift givers.